Hey, it is Friday. Welcome to your go-to show for sports here on the Shore. Delmarva Sports Insider. I'm Anthony Joseph.
And I'm Chris Brunk. Thank you for joining us. We've got a lot to get into tonight. Isn't that right, Anthony?
We have another jam-packed Delmarva Sports Insider for you. Let's go over what we have in store for you tonight. Former Sussex Central baseball players transferring from a Division III school to Division I. Find out why. Plus, I'm sitting down with longtime Delmarva Shorebirds fan Sky Brady.
And a longtime field hockey coach is not returning for this upcoming season. Find out why. Plus, you'll hear what's new in the sports community calendar for the week. But first, Anthony, we're heading out to the water and we're going fishing.
We certainly are. I brought my fishing rod and are ready to cast off. The Tunas and Tiaras fishing tournament is back again this year. It was a great day for fishing. The 5th annual kicked off today at the Fishing Center in Ocean City. This tournament, exclusively for women, is one of its kind. Started in 2020, this women fishing tournament was an idea from Pat Taylor, who wanted to give women a voice in the fishing community, as well as support a good cause. Women Supporting Women, a grassroots organization that raises awareness, provides education, and offers support for those affected by cancer. After day one of fishing, third for the heaviest tuna was 30 deep at 65.5 pounds. In second, Gator with 146.5. And first, Sea Hag, 185.5 pounds. Then you had stringer tuna in third, was Sea Flame with 212. Then second, Sea Hag, 287. And then first, Gator again, 327 pounds. Then you had the small boat heaviest. Tuna was off the hook with 45 pounds. Small boat stringer, heaviest was Tomcat, 138. And Ma was water damage with 10.5 pounds. At the end, we talked to one of the lady anglers about her experience in the tournament.
I've been sea fishing for about 8 years now, but these girls I've been fishing with for a year now, and we just kill it every single time, and I just love it. And it's so great for women to support women and this great cause. I love it so much, and it was so great reeling in that 63-pound tuna. It was exhilarating.
Meanwhile, the Delmarva Shorebirds in action tonight in Game 4 of their 6-game series against the Salem Red Sox. And this was a good one, Anthony. 5th inning, Shorebirds down 2-0. That's a double play ground ball. Well, you got the tag right there, but the Red Sox throw it away. Josh Lorenzo coming home to score, and this game ultimately would go to extra innings. Salem goes up 3-2 in the 10th. Now 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th. Nate George, a base hit to left. That brings home Colin Tuff to tie the ball game at 3 apiece. George fired up at second base, making big plays in just his 4th game with the team. The very next pitch, it's Raylan Ramos driving it up the middle. George wheeling home to score. The Shorebirds walk off the Salem Red Sox 4-3. They're now 2-2 on this homestand after dropping 2 in a row, 24-37 overall on the year after the win.
Shorebirds needed that victory. Former Sussex Central baseball player Noah Burrows has taken his talent to the University of Delaware Blue Hens baseball team. As a freshman at SU, he was the Rookie of the Year. He led the team with a batting average 384, led the team with hits 68. Noah also led his team in RBIs with 57. His on-base percentage was more than 1,000. As a freshman, he played in all 44 games. Burrows is always ready, preparing for the baseball season, even though it's so many months away. He's taken a lot of extra batting practice. Burrow talks about why moving from Division III Salisbury to Division I UD was the right fit for him.
The main reason I decided to transfer to UD was just to play at a higher level, Division III to Division I. I'm always a guy that wants to push myself, so if I had the opportunity to play at a higher level, I was going to take it. Coming out of high school, I was going Division I. I kind of just, going to continue doing what I'm always doing, working hard in the weight room, coming out here, hitting every day. And when I get there, I'm just going to, compete.
Well, as we know, Anthony, it's Friday and it's finally not raining, so that means that we had some racing in Delaware at the Georgetown Speedway. The Darren Rust Memorial at the Speedway, named in honor of former Georgetown Speedway promoter Darren Rust, featuring twin 20s from Millman's Napa Modifieds. That means fans are getting 2 20-lap races for the price of one. Also, for the first time ever, the SCDRA Northeast coming to town with Sport Compact Dirt Racing. And of course, you've got the Blue Hen Disposal 602 Sportsman. Here's 2024 602 Sportsman champion Greg Hummelhands on how he prepares for a race, and Georgetown Speedway General Manager Chad Cathell on how the 2025 season has been going so far.
We have a pretty good maintenance program, so we go through everything during the week, and then just race day, you just make sure we got everything loaded up, make sure everything's once over everything, and then just try to relax and get ready for the night. Working on things. We were here practicing last night, trying to get stuff figured out. Looking at lap times and trying different things.
So far, we've had a pretty successful year. We've had about the last month off, somewhat thanks to Mother Nature, somewhat thanks just to how the holidays have fallen and our cooperation with area tracks as well. But so far, so good. We've had a lot of great successful events.
Delmarva Aces College Prospect Baseball Showcase there. Chris, happened in Salisbury. They played several games. Let's go to the highlights to one of the contests. Team 1 and Team 2 would take the field. Team 1 took a big lead, outscoring Team 2 in the first 2 innings 2-0. Fast forward start of the 3rd inning. Team 1. Ball is smacked up the middle, and it's deep to center field. Ball is dropped, though. And here comes Jaden Cirillo as he makes his way home off a single RBI from Jai Sanchez. Bottom of the 4th. The windup, the pitch, and it is wild. Here comes Mark Spohr to steal, and he is safe. Another run, bottom of the 6th. And the pitch, it is hit. It takes a little bit to develop. It is going, and it is out of here. Everybody loves the long ball. I know I do. That was a lot of runs in a short period. Team 1 would take the game over 9-0. We talked to the organizer of the camp, and this is what he had to say about why he started it.
Bring the exposure to Delmarva. One of the biggest things that we struggled with here is getting college coaches consistently around our guys. And today's the day, and today's been the day for the last 10 years. One time a summer we run this event. We have coaches from all over the Mid-Atlantic that are coming to watch our guys showcase their skills, showcase their talents. They're going to be doing individual workouts before they play games, and they also be doing different recruiting talks as well. So today it's an all-encompassing full college recruitment day.
And the blue-gold baseball game was a good one at Frolic Stadium, ended in a tie 9-9. Former Woodbridge Raiders player Austin Griffith was a star in that game. He went 2 for 2 with a walk, a single, a double, 2 runs scored, including the game-tying run in the 9th, and a great outfield assist for that performance. He was the player of the game in that exhibition. Congrats to you, Austin. Impressive performance.
He certainly was. Stay updated while we're at these games in real time.
Make sure to follow WMDT Sports on Facebook and X right now.
We are calling a first timeout. But when we return, I'm sitting down with Delmarva Shorebirds fan Sky Brady as we talk about his experience at the park and much more.
We've got that and more when Delmarva Sports Insider returns.
I'm Jordan Holloman with University of Maryland Field Hockey, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.
Welcome back to Delmarva Sports Insider. I am Anthony Joseph. We are live. You never know what's going to happen. Here's my friend Sky Brady, longtime Delmarva Shorebirds fan. Appreciate you being here. And, what is your most memorable Delmarva Shorebird moment?
Well, I have a couple of them, really. The inaugural season I was down there, and this is the program from 1996, and I actually have every single player's autograph in it, which is pretty amazing.
So, who were some of the players there?
Seganol was one. Orlando Cabrera, he wound up, I think, in the World Series with the Red Sox, and he came up. And they were actually the Montreal Expos originally, the farm team for the first 2 years. And then after that, the Orioles came in.
Who's your favorite player of all time?
Shorebirds, Jason Worth, definitely. Jason Worth, he was a catcher. Then he wound up coming up in the majors, and Orioles let him go to the Dodgers, and then he was in the World Series with the Phillies in 2008, so he's my favorite.
Did you ever get to meet him?
No, I did not, actually. I got to meet Harper, I got to meet Machado, so that was at the 2011 All-Star game that they had North and South. And this is actually the South. They won 6-4. So I like to see them get another All-Star game. It's been since 14 years since they had one.
Do you think they will?
Yeah, I mean they had one in '99, and so yeah, I got to talk to Chris Bitters, get them on the ball there, get the game there. I hope, but yeah, Harper played in that game. Machado, Earl Weaver was there, the old
Wow.
Orioles manager, so I got to meet him. That was pretty interesting.
Talk a little bit as far as you've got to meet a lot of players. What about Manny Machado? Was he nice?
Yeah, I mean he was. I think at that point in their careers, they're coming up and they're trying to get to the majors, and most of them are pretty nice. I haven't Harper was the only minor league player I ever heard get booed, and I think he threw a kiss at somebody or something. I forget what, but something happened, and from that time on, and then he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated at a young age. So I mean, to this day, he's still getting booed, but. I think that drives them to be more competitive.
You have a lot of baby birds. I call them that. Delmarva shorebirds.
Right.
You've had Jackson Holliday. A long list. Adley Rushman. From some of those, who would you say was your favorite?
Well, I like Willie Harris, but that's going back a little ways.
Some of the current, I would say the ones that are on the Orioles now. Maybe Jackson Holliday or Ryan Mattcastle, Adley.
I saw Holiday, but he wasn't there that long. Not the last couple of years I haven't really been following him as much. So.
Now you've gone this year. You go about every year.
I went to a doubleheader and they won both games. So
well, you better go every game.
Yeah.
You're a good luck charm for him.
Yeah. So I love it. I've been a Silver Slugger since I was 55. That was a couple of years ago, and you get to go down every Wednesday for. A discount price on Wednesday nights, Silver Sluggers.
Okay.
So that's pretty good.
Now, of course, you're a big Phillies fan too. Right. Mason Fluharty, he pitched tonight. Phillies taking on the Blue Jays. Citizen Bank Park. What are your thoughts on that matchup? Mason Fluharty, the former Cape Star.
Well, he came in relief tonight and he did okay. I think he gave up one run. The Phillies beat the Blue Jays 8-0 tonight, so I'm pretty happy about that. So. They went into a little funk there for a bit. They lost 10 out of 12, and now they've won 4 out of 5, so they're back on the horse a little bit. So I'm pretty excited for them, yeah.
They got some more games, of course, with Toronto, so we'll have to see if Mason pitches tomorrow or on Sunday. Thank you so much, Scott. Really appreciate it. Back to you, Chris.
Right here, find out how the University of Maryland Eastern Shore is preparing to face funding cuts. And Governor Glenn Youngkin signing a new law in Virginia. Find out how it relates to crimes associated with fentanyl. Don't go anywhere. You're watching DSI.
This is TJ Morris from Salisbury University, outfielder here, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.
Welcome back, Delmarva. The University of Maryland Eastern Shore facing 10% in state funding cuts, and now UMES must cut required spending by 7% and roll back anticipated spending by 3%. The school plans to eliminate all positions that have been vacant for 3 years or more and put a hiring pause in place. UMES has also started telework on Fridays through the summer. Now, school officials say they could also save money by reducing the temporary workforce. Despite these changes, the school could see another record year in enrollment.
It would be speculative at this point to try and guess if these measures are affecting enrollment. To my knowledge, we're looking to have another record year of enrollment growth, knock on wood. So we're very bullish on what our enrollment will be in the fall.
University System of Maryland Chancellor Jay Perman putting out a video earlier this week addressing those budget cuts, saying they're looking at new ways of generating revenue before cutting any personnel, but adding they cannot take that potential off the table.
Which I think was a bold move and a very necessary move to help people understand that, we're all in this together. We're not alone. And it was very well received. I know on our campus that the chancellor would step out and connect his concerns about where the system is financially.
Now, these cuts also impact all University System of Maryland institutions. That includes Salisbury University. We're told each campus is approaching the cuts in their own way to best meet the circumstance. And a new felony penalty is in place in Virginia for fentanyl offenses. Individuals convicted of selling or distributing fentanyl resulting in someone else's death can now be charged with the felony. Governor Glenn Youngkin signing the law today in his ceremony. And Avery Hall Insurance is celebrating its 100-year anniversary. The company started in 1925, running out of the founder's farmhouse, and now the company has 5 different locations all across the Eastern Shore. Yesterday, the insurance company celebrated this milestone with clients and representatives from all over the area. Chief Operating Officer Karen Bromley looked to the future while taking inspiration from their founder.
His motto was treating people right the first and every time that you meet them. So we've continued that tradition here at Avery Hall and plan to do it for the next 100 years.
And Joe Gas Company president said the most important part of sustaining a company for this long is being ready to adapt.
Every day you have to change. I mean, that's just the nature of business. So you have to be ready for change, and you have to have employees that are ready for change.
Looking ahead, company officials said they plan to implement AI into their technology. And now let's send things over to Chief Meteorologist Rich Wardzik, who's tracking some chances for rain this weekend.
Well, Ham, we've got it going on right now. I'm going to get to the radar in just a moment. But speaking of the weekend, let's just dive right into it here. We got more storms on tap for late tomorrow. And then although a much cooler Father's Day, there's still a chance of some thunderstorms. The humidity's not going anywhere, so don't even think about that. We're going to bring up the temperature again next week. Could be looking at another few days close to or above the 90-degree mark. Well, the rain has certainly helped make it feel maybe a little better out there. Georgetown, this is live. See the wet roads here downtown or Shore Auto Sales Skycam. Officially at the Salisbury Airport today, just shy of 90 degrees. That high happened right there at noonish. So we started seeing those clouds billow up early afternoon. Ended up with some downpours with the sea breeze that was coming in. And that certainly brought some problems out there for Sussex, parts of Worcester County, also extreme eastern Wycomico County. But right now the showers moving back in. Georgetown, Easton, both airports reporting some rain. Low to mid 70s right now. We're not going to cool off much more late tonight. Look at all that rain on the radar picture. Just hasn't been moving very much. These started out in the D.C. area, central Virginia. They were a lot stronger at one point. Notice how the lightning strikes have really backed off. So the intensity of these, as I expected, really kind of worked down as they made their way across the Chesapeake Bay. But pretty good area of lightning right now outside of Riverview and Goldsboro. This is northern sections here north of the Sussex-Kent County border there. There's the Maryland line, Denton down to American Corner over to Easton. Some steadier rains in the yellows there. Back into the greens here, more of a light to moderate rain, maybe more light than anything in Salisbury, and just some sprinkles out toward Ocean Pines down to Snow Hill. But this is all going to slowly work across to some of the beaches here soon. So a boundary locked over top of the area. That's the focus of these showers and storms. There isn't a lot of upper level movement at this time. That's why there isn't much movement with these storms. And as a result, or the upper level winds, I should say, as a result, flash flooding is the main concern out of anything that pops up, not just tonight, but over the course of the next couple days, because that boundary is going to be kind of hanging out here across the region. Not much of a boundary. You see it's not much cooler off to the north, and certainly the humidity values don't change much until you get into upstate New York, and that looks good. Dew points in the 40s. Oh, so nice this time of the year. And it's a little bit of a tease because we are not getting into any of that. Not going to happen here. All right, Father's Day will be a little cooler, though. So let's start with Futurecast here. You see a round of showers and storms moving out tonight. We'll get another round tomorrow afternoon and early evening. Those could have some kick to them. And then looking at Father's Day being much cooler, and then the rain coming back in sometime late in the day. So I think we're going to have a lot of space on Father's Day with dry weather just in time for Dads there. 68 to 73 tonight, shower, thunderstorm. You saw it on the radar. Another round of storms late tomorrow. So our Saturday is looking okay for the first half the day at least. There's our Father's Day forecast being cooler. And Anthony, we're going to talk about more showers and storms Monday before we crank that temperature back up. Nasty hot again mid and late next week.
Thank you so much, Rich. A lot of your forecast so far has been rain, 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 but I just want it to go away. Stick around. A longtime field hockey coach is not returning for the upcoming season. Find out why. You're watching DSI.
Hi, I'm Rick Dempsey, MVP of the 1983 World Series, waiting for those Orioles to get back to another World Series, but I'm here today enjoying it with Delmarva Sports Insider.
Welcome back to Delmarva Sports Insider. After 26 seasons at the helm for the Delmarva field hockey team, Jody Holloman has called it quits from coaching the team. At Delmarva, she was a winner. She won 9 straight DIA field hockey state championships. Holloman decided to leave Delmarva to watch her daughters. Josie and Jordan played field hockey at the University of Maryland. With Coach Holloman at the helm, Delmarva has won back-to-back for a long time. Then you had 3-0, over Tower Hill to start the 9-year state championship winning streak. Holloman is not leaving Delmarva. She continues to teach, will also continue to coach the Shorebirds field hockey squad. She'll now have more time to attend really every University of Maryland home game that she really wants to, and she can travel to watch Josie, her other daughter, to play with the national team. Holloman talks about why the move was right for her.
To watch both of my daughters at Maryland. I've been coaching 26 years, and I think it's time for a younger group of girls that maybe in ones that I coached before step into the program here and give it some younger, fresh vibe, but ultimately has nothing to do with anything but being able to go to College Park and travel the world watching my kids play field hockey.
And the Delaware girls all-state lacrosse team is out now. We've got a lot of familiar names on that list. First team attack, Cape's Claire Lopez. Also with Cape, Macy Steinwiedel, CR's Ellie Roberts. At midfield, it's Allie Deal with Cape and Marie Rishko. Also with the Vikings, Sussex Academy's Shelby Manlove and CR's Delaney Miklas. On defense, Cape's Quinn Nutter, CR's Isabella DeMondi, and Sussex Academy's Savannah Montgomery. Player of the Year goes to Allie Deal. For the Cape Vikings Coach of the Year out of Sussex Academy, it's Taylor Gibbs. Congrats to all of those awardees.
Coming up, we're going to find out who's going to be the WMDT Athlete of the Week. You don't want to miss it. You're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.
Hi, I'm Coach Powell from Indian River High School Softball, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.
Chucky and Lewis calling in at 70 degrees. He says it's a warm evening out there, and the showers just making their way over to the beaches there in Sussex County. As there will be some rain for everybody here in the next few hours if it hasn't started raining yet. Marine forecast tomorrow. Hey, it looks good for marine interest. The issue is the lightning threat, which would be late in the day. I'm going to watch the skies there sometimes mid and late afternoon into early evening for some storms. The beach forecast here, it's going to be close to 80 tomorrow, definitely the warmer of the 2 days. Father's Day, a little cooler. The wind coming in off the water there out of the east, so just keep that in mind. A shower thunderstorm chance will come late and probably after sunset on Father's Day. So we are looking a little better for rain chances there. There's going to be a lot of dry time again this weekend. Ocean City Air Show, come on. You got to get out there and enjoy it. Much of it will be just fine, but just watching for those late day storms, especially tomorrow. Stormy chances on Monday, and then Anthony and Chris, we're going to be a lot warmer by the end of next week.
Thank you so much, Rich. I want that warm weather. It's time to unveil this week's WMDT Athlete of the Week. It is Javon Comagese with Team Green. In the game against Top Cut with players from Waiha, he scored 33 points. It's Comagese. He was just on fire as he beat him 63-59.
And we want to hear who you think should win next week's award. Send in your suggestions to our email, sports@wmdt.com.
Now it's time for the sports community calendar. Maryland Supreme Basketball League is back again this year, and the games happen at the Snow Hill Recreational Center. They play on Mondays and Thursdays, but they're going to play next Friday night. But first, they're going to play on Monday night.
That action will be the Laurel Dogs taking on the Bury Tavern. Another matchup is going to be the Young Gunners versus Team Green. And finally, that last game is going to be Leon General Contractor against Bull on the Beach. That's out there at the Rec Center in Snow Hill. So if you need your hoops hookup, you can go out there and watch. It's a great time.
And of course, B.J. Johnson is running that summer league, so make sure you go see his team and many other squads also. That's going to do it for tonight. As always, thank you so much for watching.
And be sure to keep up with us this weekend all over social media.
Have a great night.
Closed captioning provided by Value Carpet One.